In a world where the spiritual and the earthly intersect, there emerges a figure of profound significance. His name resonates with reverence and awe: Pope Benedict XVI. This spiritual luminary stands as a beacon of light, a defender of the faith, and an inspiration to believers across the globe. The battles between good and evil, light and darkness, have long plagued humanity. It is in these tumultuous times that the resolute spirit of Pope Benedict XVI shines brightest. Through his teachings, prayers, and unwavering connection to God, he became a spiritual warrior, fearlessly confronting the malevolent schemes of Satan. But it was not only through words and prayers that Pope Benedict XVI demonstrated his spiritual authority. In a remarkable display of divine power, he performed an exorcism even through a mere letter, defying the influence of demonic forces. In this video, we'll dive deep into the remarkable story of how Pope Benedict XVI banished Satan from the lives of believers. So, make sure to watch this video until the end. Deep in Bavaria's village, a soul destined for greatness entered the world. Born Joseph Aloysius Ratzinger, this child would one day become known as Pope Benedict XVI, a name that would resound throughout history and leave an indelible mark on the spiritual landscape. From a young age, it was evident that Joseph possessed a profound theological intellect. His insatiable thirst for knowledge and his deep commitment to the Catholic faith sent him on a path of spiritual enlightenment. With each passing year, his understanding of the sacred teachings deepened, forging a solid foundation for his future endeavors. Joseph's theological prowess was honed through rigorous study and contemplation. His unyielding dedication to expanding his understanding of God's Word and the rich traditions of the Church set him apart. His quest for knowledge led him to pursue advanced theological studies, acquiring a wealth of wisdom that would shape his spiritual journey. In the year 2005, the Catholic Church stood on the precipice of a monumentous event: the election of a new pope. It was at this pivotal moment that Joseph Aloysius Ratzinger was chosen to assume the mantle of leadership. With the white smoke billowing from the Sistine Chapel, he emerged as the 265th pope, assuming the revered name Benedict XVI. His papacy was marked by a steadfast commitment to upholding the teachings of the Church. With a gentle yet unwavering hand, Pope Benedict XVI guided the faithful through the intricacies of Catholic doctrine. His encyclicals and writings became beacons of insight, offering clarity and guidance to believers grappling with the challenges of the modern world. Under his spiritual stewardship, the Catholic Church experienced both triumphs and trials. Pope Benedict XVI fearlessly addressed issues within the Church, striving to maintain the integrity and purity of its teachings. There is a remarkable story that illustrates the profound power of Pope Benedict XVI's prayers. It revolves around Charles, a French nobleman who found himself tormented by unexplained trances after a spiritual retreat in Dijon, France. Despite seeking help from various professionals, Charles remained desperate for a solution to his affliction. Father Francesco Bamonte, an experienced exorcist, recognized the seriousness of Charles's situation and sought guidance from renowned exorcist Father Gabriel Amorth. Empowered by their advice, Father Bamonte persisted in his efforts to free Charles from the clutches of the demonic presence. The entity claimed to be the Prince of the World, challenging the authority of the exorcist. When asked who could expel it, it defiantly responded, "The Pope or a bishop." Realizing the urgency, Father Belmonte advised Charles to write directly to Pope Benedict XVI. Through the assistance of a trusted priest and the Secretariat of State, Charles's letter reached the Holy Father, who promptly responded. Pope Benedict XVI assured Charles of his prayers and offered masses for his liberation. After 3 months, Father Belmonte received an astonishing call. Charles had experienced a breakthrough during the final exorcism. With a shout of freedom, he emerged from his tormented state, liberated and filled with joy. This incredible outcome was a testament to the power of prayer, particularly the intercession of Pope Benedict XVI. Unbeknownst to Charles, his parents had made a diabolic pact, offering him and his stillborn twin brother as sacrifices in exchange for power and wealth. It was Pope Benedict XVI's powerful prayer that compelled Satan to his knees, shattering the chains that had bound Charles to darkness. Another astonishing story unfolded in St. Peter's Square during the Wednesday General Audience, as recounted by Father Amorth. In May 2009, 2 of Father Amorth's assistants brought 2 young men, Marco and Giovanni, who were believed to be possessed by a high-ranking demon because they showed no signs of improvement despite prayers and the rite of exorcism. The 2 young men were brought into the square and positioned in an area reserved for the disabled. As the Pope approached them, something extraordinary occurred. The man began to exhibit bizarre behavior, with their bodies shaking and their teeth chattering uncontrollably. When one of the assistants asked Giovanni to calm down, he responded in a completely different voice, declaring, "I am not Giovanni." But the truly astonishing moment came when Pope Benedict XVI stepped out of his car and moved closer to them. The 2 men started trembling and threw themselves to the ground, succumbing to a state of frenzy. Observing from a distance, the Pope raised his arms and blessed them. In that instant, the demonic presence that had possessed them vanished and they were liberated. Their howls transformed into cries of joy, and they rejoiced in their newfound freedom from the clutches of evil. They were possessed no more. This incident serves as yet another compelling testament to the immense power of Pope Benedict XVI. The demons and even Satan himself are rendered powerless in the face of his prayers and blessings, demonstrating the extent of his influence. However, on December 31st, 2022, the world mourned the passing of Pope Benedict XVI. His burial took place in St. Peter's Basilica, a hallowed place where the faithful gathered to pay their respects and bid farewell. Just a few days later, on January 8th, the tomb of Pope Benedict XVI was open to the public, providing an opportunity for devotees to visit and honor his memory. This allowed believers to express their gratitude for his spiritual leadership and the profound impact he had on their lives. We extend our heartfelt gratitude for the unwavering commitment and spiritual guidance that Pope Benedict XVI provided during his papacy. His teachings, prayers, and courageous stance against the forces of darkness have left an indelible mark on the Catholic Church and the faithful worldwide. As we reflect on the life and legacy of Pope Benedict XVI, let us take this moment to deepen our own spiritual journeys. May we find inspiration and strength in his example, seeking guidance and fortitude in our battles against the forces of darkness that may seek to weaken our resolve. Let us continue our spiritual journeys with renewed vigor, seeking to emulate the unwavering faith and dedication of Pope Benedict XVI. May we become beacons of light in a world that often finds itself shrouded in darkness, knowing that with God's grace, we can triumph over any adversity.